Well, guys, welcome to the new 26 Vigilante 8 for this week. I very rarely, in fact one time, have only watched an episode twice before coming up with my thoughts. Hell, I'll even be completely honest with you, I don't even remember the episode in which I did it, but I remember doing it. This is only the second time I've done it. Why? Because the episode, the WashOuts, has so much good and so much bad. But the main purpose of this episode is morals on role models. About how role models should always set the best example for safety and keep their young fans safe. How role models should inspire them to not be like them completely, but to be motivated to find their own path, but use them as a stick to attain to, and by allowing the young to make their own decisions and not try to force a decision upon them. These are all great morals, especially if you're an older trying to be a youngin's role model, especially if you're a father or you're just trying to be somebody to look up to. It's all a good thing. Except for although these morals are strong and these morals hit home at the points that they're supposed to hit home, the entire episode of the WashOuts suffers by one big thing, or rather two. The word contradiction and Rainbow Dash. Ugh. Rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. We have been down this road before. This road of rage, you and I. And once again, your character, your Mike Mazanin type character, creates an entire contradiction of this entire episode. You say one thing, and yet throughout the entire episode, you do another. You do the right thing, but only when shown completely that you are in the wrong. Throughout the entire episode, your ego is being repeatedly tested, deflated, and proven wrong. And yet, the episode, through either one, writing incompetence, or two, lack of moral consistency, ends up botching the landing around every single corner. Sure, it was nice to see the return of Lightning Dust from Wonderbolt's Academy, which you could say this is a direct sequel episode 2 because it re-emphasizes the morals sent there. Now she runs a stunt troupe known as the WashOuts, an appropriate name seeing that her two cohorts in this group, an Australian pony named Rolling Thunder, and a appropriately loud little one known as Short Fuse, are doing super daredevil stunts that break every rule of the Wonderbolts. Something that Rainbow, seeing that she is a Wonderbolt and cares extremely about, is perturbed about, rather appropriately. Safety first, especially if you're going to be role models to young kids. which Scootaloo becomes enamored with this new group and decides to ditch Rainbow Dash's fan club for the fan club for this group, which naturally, if the Miz, scratch that, Rainbow Dash, gets her ego bruised, she takes it extremely too literally and tries everything to try to convince Vince Scootaloo not to do it. But Scootaloo is the only character here that is, well, consistent in this entire episode, other than Rolling Thunder and Short Fuse. Because you see, Scootaloo knows what she wants, and she's gonna get it. Despite being told that it's not exactly safe, which you should expect that of young kids. Young kids are enamored with dangerous stuff all the time. So this is a natural kid thing. But when one of the washouts goes down, she volunteers against Rainbow Dash's wanting of her own ego not to be scarred anymore to take up a stunt in Rolling Thunder's place, an extremely dangerous one. Scootaloo is so consistent in this episode and even tells Rainbow Dash that she can't fly, something that we've been waiting multiple seasons to get to. But of course the stunt proves to be unsafe in the episode because writing has to prove Rainbow Dash right when the entire episode she's been wrong. And Lightning Dust has to act as the antagonist through the whole thing, seeing that not only is Rainbow Dash's ego bruised by Scootaloo kicking her to the curb, it's bruised twice by Lightning Dust appearing to be successful without the Wonderbolts. And she's taking this way too seriously is Rainbow Dash. So the fact that Rainbow is proven right in the last part of the episode is completely contradictory to the moral and shows that Lightning Dust can't be successful anyway, because why can't the antagonist ever get a good life ever? And plus, this is the first time in WashOuts history, as far as we know, where a stunt has gone wrong. It's nice to see that the rivalry between Lightning and Rainbow will continue, but in this round, Lightning wins. She offered up a spot to be volunteered. Scootaloo took it. Lightning did not do safety precautions. But if you know the entire history of this team, given this episode, you already know that they don't do safety precautions or test things. It's just what they do, which shows improper stunt work, by the way. All stunts, no matter what form of extreme sports, whether nitro circus or whatever, are always tested. So this is yet another mistake that the episode makes. Although the initial show in which we see the washouts is a great animation spectacle to behold. Yes, Spitfire's role in this episode is to show the dangers and the result of not doing things that are safe, which is nice, but instead of focusing the episode on that, which that's the moral that it does right, they focus on Rainbow Dash's bruised ego and let Rainbow the Ms. Dash run around trying to repair her ego and trying to prove herself right. She, Rainbow Dash, is the single that this episode doesn't work. Not Twilight, for she drops a very good mini moral in the air, and she generally likes the show because she admits the entertainment is in the danger. And everybody else seems to like the show, but because it's lightning dust and because it's dangerous and she's a wonderbolt, she doesn't like the show, despite showing on multiple occasions that she does. This episode is one big, giant contradiction and outlines Rainbow Dash's worst qualities again. If it weren't for the other characters and the powerhouse performances by Lightning Dust and Scootaloo, this would be right up there with Ne'er-Do-Well. But thankfully, the morals in those performances are strong enough. But Rainbow Dash completely and utterly fails this episode, which forces it to unironically in this case, wash out. The WashOuts gets a 2 out of 6 from me. Rainbow, not only do I know you can do better, you have done better. And seeing that this is the sequel to Wonderbolt Academy, this is embarrassing. Hopefully next week does better. So what are your thoughts on the WashOuts? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know down in the comment section below. And until next week, I'm Nirvana Sparkle. And I'm inspirational. Find peace in your own Nirvana. Thanks for watching.